Today I'm going to show you how to adjust the belt idle pulleys on your Craftsman snowblower. So even if you put new belts in your snowblower and these pulleys are not adjusted properly on some of them, you may still have a problem. So I've got a blower here in the shop and I'm just going to show you off of that blower exactly what I mean. So here's a Craftsman snowblower here. This is a big machine. It's a 31 inch with an 11 horsepower Tecumseh motor. I don't see the 11 horsepowers too much, usually they're 8 or 10s or 10.5s. So the idle pulleys I'm talking about are underneath the belt cover, which I've removed here. There's only 2 bolts on each side. When you remove the belt cover, just loosen the bolt on each side and the cover will come right off. Now the belt idle pulley that I'm talking about is this one right here. The front belt is the one that powers the auger for the snowblower. So each time you press down the lever, the idle pulley is going to move and tighten up the belt. So when this puts pressure, it tightens up the belt so that the belt doesn't slip off the pulley here when you're blowing snow. Now if you grab a 9/16 wrench and you loosen this nut here, it's going to loosen the pulley and then you can slide it back or forward. So if you look behind the pulley, you can see it's a carriage bolt and it slides back and forth like that. Now if your pulley is adjusted way to the back like this, and I'll tighten up the nut to show you what I mean. So you can see by the groove that it's as far back as it can go. Now if I press down the auger lever here, the belt may not be tight enough around to make the blower work good. So I've got the lever pushed in, and if I touch the belt here, it's pretty loose on that side. And you can see that I can make it slip around the engine pulley, which isn't good. So what would happen is the augers would turn, but as soon as you hit a load of snow, the belt would start slipping off the engine pulley. And that's because the idle pulley here is adjusted too far back. So what I'm going to do is loosen the nut and push it about halfway in, and then when I put the auger lever down, the belt is going to be tight enough that it will not slip off that pulley. And now I'll push it about halfway in. And now you can see that it's pushed in halfway or slightly bit more. But now when I put the auger lever down, you're going to see the belt's going to be much tighter. So I'll push down the auger lever again. And now with the auger lever down, the belt is much tighter. And when you turn the motor over, everything turns good, it doesn't slip. So that does it for the auger belt idle pulley. There's also another belt idle pulley here for the drive belt. Now that idle pulley there is tensioned with this spring right here. So it's kind of non-adjustable, but if the spring falls out, what's going to happen is your drive's not going to work because there will not be any tension on the drive belt. As you can see there, the spring is connected to the idle pulley right there and comes out to the side of the blower here, right into this notch over here. So there's another view. So make sure that spring's always there. Make sure it's not overstretched or broken. Unlike the auger belt, the drive belt always has tension on it. So the auger belt only gets tight when you press down the lever on the handle. So don't worry about it if you see the auger belt loose when the lever is not down. And if you see the drive belt always has tension. The drive on the blower is only powered by a friction disc on this machine. So that's what gets the blower moving when you press the lever. For the auger, the system works by tightening the belt when the lever is down. So it's perfectly normal to have the auger belt loose without the lever down and to have the drive belt always tight. Now I'll just reinstall the belt cover and make sure that the groove goes where the bolt is like that. And it's the same thing on the other side here. And now just tighten the bolt on each side of the cover and you're done. And what you'll need for that is a 3/8 socket. So now I've got it outside and we'll test it out. So you can see it's an easy fix sometimes. I know I've had that problem before on another snowblower. Actually, it's this one right here, another Craftsman. It's got the same setup, and sometimes you need to adjust the belt idle pulley. So if you've got this blower, you can adjust the pulley. On some MTD blowers you can't, it's just you adjust the cables. So always check your belts, check the tension, and that could be your problem. A lot of the time it can be an easy fix like that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.